Well, I was very proud of our team in the North Texas game. We had 3 of our post players foul out, and so sometimes I was playing with 4 guards, which we haven't done this year. And so was proud for other people to step up. Rihanna Cleaver and Brooklyn Pomeroy both stepped up big in the North Texas game to help us get a win.
And in the Rice game, it was a defensive, lapse in that game. You guys allowed 53% shooting from Rice, but you guys had great performance from Pomeroy and won a game combined for 59 points in that game.
Well, again, I was proud of Brooke and Brandy being able to score the ball, but as you said, we could not get the stops that we needed. And you got to credit Rice; they executed very well. And so, looking back at that game, offensively, we did probably all we could have done, but it was on the defensive end we lost that game.
You'll be happy to be coming back home.
It's great to be back home for the last 2 games against 2 tough opponents, but we're excited about Thursday night against Marshall and then senior night against Western Kentucky. So very excited about finishing up at home and trying to at least finish 5th or try for 4th.
Was there a little bit of the aggravation knowing that Charlotte lost in an overtime that night, not being able to take advantage of that, and still climb for that 4th place tie from your players?
It was frustrating to be able to climb into 4th, but then fall up short at Rice. And I think it's another learning lesson for this very young team that every game matters. You can't take anybody for granted, and you got to control what you can control, which that night was Rice. And so looking back, there are 2 or 3 games we wish we could have gotten back, but that's the difference between 4th or 5th like we are right now.
Talk a little bit about Marshall in particular.
Marshall's a very good team. I think only lost 1 game in non-conference. They run a lot of random things on offense, very quick screens, continuity base, and so that's the biggest thing is being able to lock down Scott, their best player, and play better defensively than we did in our last game.
How important is it going into Birmingham next week to be feeling good about ourselves after these 2 games coming up?
Well, I think it's a disappointment if we don't get the double bye, but at the same time, to be 5th is the next best thing, obviously, and so I think it would be great to at least get 1 win, hopefully 2 wins here at home, and get that momentum going into Birmingham, which, as everybody knows, it's a whole nother season. It's completely different, just like conference is different from non-conference. The conference tournament, anything can happen.
And then I know you focused on Marshall, but for these guys for Saturday, talk a little bit about Western Kentucky and what you know about them.
Well, Western Kentucky is obviously a well-oiled machine at this point. They just reload every year. Offensively, they have a high pick and roll that they will run over and over again. Man or zone, really doesn't matter what we're in, they'll run that. And so we're going to spend some time on that this week as well as preparing for Marshall. And on the offensive end, I think if we execute what we can execute, we'll be good against Western Kentucky.